Bishop Dr. Zach Niringye is a theologian, a pastor, and civic political activist in Uganda. Niringye holds a PhD in theology and mission history from the University of Edinburgh, an MA in theology from Wheaton College, as well as a teaching diploma from Makerere University in Uganda. Bishop Zach, who previously served as Assistant Bishop of the Diocese of Kampala, is now engaged in full-time civic political activism in his native country of Uganda. He is the author of The Church, God's Pilgrim People, as well as The Church in the World, a historical ecclesiological study of the Church of Uganda. He's married to Theodora and they have 3 children. Together, let's all welcome Bishop Dr. Zach Niringye.
There's so much that has been given to us this evening. So much. There's so much already that has been given to us in this gathering. Evidently, there is so much for deeper, more honest, more frank, more robust, difficult conversations we must have. This evening, the windows, ventilators have been opened towards a way of thinking, imagining, reflecting, that causes us to imagine a different way of being, of engaging, a different future, a different world that reflects something of what God in the beginning. This is powerful. That's what is being offered. And this is simply a gift. Let's not be in a hurry to make conclusions. We are easily tempted for easy and quick solutions. Let's not be in a hurry. It's evil, it's dark, it's dreadful. We want out of here now. But we know that it's not that simple. Empires are entrenched. We not only live in them, they live in us. So let me make the appeal I made yesterday for deeper conversations. Deeper conversations for those of us whose experience of empire is deep, devastating. We name it. We name it so much. Friends, those of you for whom this is not so immediate, we even now compete for which genocides are greater. For which bodies? So we compete over numbers. We compete. This is how bad it has become. So a conversation between us, and I'm grateful for pointing out the need for theological conversations between the South and the South. And maybe we need to repent. So those of us who are theologians from the South and you studied in the North, put up your hands. From the South, and we studied in the North. And our theological colleges and seminaries, although they are in the South, their curriculums are from the North. Isn't that what is true? Yeah. We've drunk this theology. We've drunk it. It's formed us. Let's admit, it is so hard to think differently. The categories. So, conversations. How has this... But these are also conversations with brothers and sisters from the North. Deep conversations. Honest conversations. Yes, we are going to be in a room. We are going to be quiet and not speak to each other. Let it be. Let's not be afraid of uneasiness. Where will this lead us to? It's very clear. The call in the letter from our friends, and we can't thank you enough for this bold call for repentance. Shall we, friends, from other than Palestine, be able to say thank you to these friends for writing to us this call? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I know that the clapping of hands is not what they hope for. What they hope for is that there will be fruit. What then does repentance look like? Wow, what a definition he's offered to us. So let's have conversations about repentance. So we embrace the definition. It becomes ours, and it shapes our journey. And that is the invitation at this gathering. We shall not wait. We are going to begin. We have been on this journey. Why should I dare say we are going to begin? We've been on this journey. But I hope, and for me, definitely, I can confess, this is a turning point for me in this journey. I hope it will be as well for us. The turning away and the turning towards. Thank you. Turning away and turning towards. I offer one further thought that augments, that adds the conversation. Empires are not only polities of a political nature that have conquered territories and taken over, such as have been mentioned historically, the Egyptian, the Persian, the Babylonian, the Byzantine, go on and on and on, including capitalist empires. I have suggested to us that we need to think about religion and how it functions in empire. And don't be in a hurry to dismiss this. I plead with you. I have suggested to us that every empire seeks to be God, as our sister has. But in order to deceive, these gods are embodied in forms of religion. But at the end of the day, whether these religions, in our denominational manifestations, we ourselves are forms of empires. Have you noticed how we protect our empires? Have you noticed how we protect our denominations? And the way we do it is amazing. Totally. For each of these, it seems to me, and I've experienced some of that in this meeting, we are turning away from patterns of power, power relations. Our sister speaks powerfully about agency, power relations, whose DNA is fear, guilt, and shame. Fear, guilt, and shame. Let's have conversations in which we have lived out of fear, guilt, and shame. We must talk honestly about this. Not only in instilling fear, not only in imputing guilt, not only in imposing shame, but in seeing through the lenses of fear, guilt, and shame. And how religion has worked. Our religion, which we love so dearly, we hang on to. And that's the hard theological work. How theology has been agency for fear, guilt, and shame. And how even in this meeting, we are afraid. We are afraid. Have you felt it? We fear to hurt each other. We fear. We need the freedom our sister speaks to us about. So the journey continues. Turning away, turning towards. But the only way we see fear, guilt, and shame for what it is in being able to see. For the only way you turn away is if you can turn toward. For what do we see in Jesus of Nazareth, born in Bethlehem? What we have here is love, justice, shalom, peace, dignity, humanity. This is what we see. This is what we must turn toward. Turning away, turning toward. A group of us gathered and read together the call. And this group gathered from across the globe, leaders, you've been mentioned to them, some of us are here. We gathered and penned what we thought is a beginning for us together. Together. As we gathered, it became clear that we needed to both take individual responsibility as well as collective responsibility. I shall not trouble you with the letter itself. It will be circulated to us after. The beginning is confession. Confession. What is confession? It is acknowledging where you stand. Acknowledging where you stand between the turning away and the turning towards. What's the next? Naming. Theodora, my wife, we've been married now for over 40 years. I was always quick to say sorry. Very quick. I'm sorry. So one day she sat me down and she said, let's finish this. The next time you say you are sorry, please say, I am sorry for. I am sorry for. So, of course, as a serious husband, I said, please, what you ask of me, I ask of you. You need to also say, I am sorry for. Let's name. This is the hard theological work we must do. Friends, we are being invited to renounce theologies. Yes. So I'm going to take a short moment. Because you individually, as you read our communication, each one of us, we actually said, let's name one by one. And as each one named, the other one said, yeah, that is mine also. That is mine. You are naming mine. So we then realized we are naming each other's. But you can't say you were naming each other until you name yours. So every one of us in this room, there's going to be a moment of quiet to name, to confess. This is not repenting. It's naming where you are. Name it. I named mine. You remember? I named some, not all of it. Some of it I don't even know. How I believed in my inferiority as a human being. Name yours. And how I said, these are superior beings. Hello, superior beings. And it didn't help when I spoke their language. Shall we do that? And then secondly, you ask, what is the collective that I must work toward? Because it must be a collective. You can write that in your book. So it will be through quietness. 30 seconds. We don't have time. May this conversation continue in this evening. Let us keep quiet. What is it for you that you are naming? We've heard it. We've been invited. We've been told. Maybe you could name one theological, ideological position that you have been captive to. And secondly, maybe you want to think of somebody in this place whom you're going to make that confession to say it to somebody. And then think what we are going to do together to be on this journey together of repentance, turning away and turning toward. I will say, "Oh Lord, have mercy," and I would like to invite you to respond with, "Christ, have mercy." Oh Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy.